The meeting of the Committee on Legislation, Rules, and Policies of the Board of School Directors will please come to order. Will the Secretary please call the roll?
Director Herndon. Present. Director Jackson.
Present.
Director O'Halloran has asked to be excused from this meeting. Director Vanoy.
Present.
And Chair Zomber.
Present.
That's 4 present. We have a quorum.
The Pledge of Allegiance was recited at our previous meeting. This meeting is being conducted from the Central Services Building. It's also being broadcast via live stream on the MPS website and the MPS YouTube stream, the links to which may be found on the MPS website and the broadcast page. Finally, for our listening audience, if you wish to access this evening's agenda items and attachments online, you may do so by visiting the Meetings, Agendas, and Minutes page of the MPS website. Before we begin tonight's meeting, we have a short announcement regarding interpretation services for the Spanish-speaking members of our audience.
Buenas tardes y bienvenidos a la Junta Escolar de las Escuelas Públicas de Milwaukee. Si deseas escuchar esta reunión en español, por favor llame al 312-626-6799. Otra vez, 312-626-6799. Introduzca el número de reunión 608-130-5362. Nuevamente, el número de reunión es 608-130-5362. Gracias.
For each of our items of business, we will hold a discussion and public hearing. If you wish to speak, please fill out a speaker slip and bring it to our Secretary, Dr. Owen Moore. We have no virtual speakers registered tonight. For the sake of fairness and to give everyone a chance of time to speak, the chair reserves the right to limit the length of time allowed to any one speaker. Disruptive or disrespectful behavior will not be permitted. If it occurs, the meeting may be paused, and those involved may be asked to step out so we continue in a safe and productive manner. Thank you for helping us ensure a positive experience for everyone. Disruptive or disrespectful behavior will not be permitted. If it occurs, I think that's a repeat. And now, given that our focus this year is literacy, we have some help with our messages from one of our young readers. Nyla is a 7th grader at Story School.
On tonight's agenda items, speakers may only address the items for which they have registered. Questions from the public may not be answered during public comment period. Following public comment, the committee will begin its discussion, and no additional comments will be accepted. When you are called upon to speak, please state your name and spell your last name for the record. Like this: Tamika Jones, Jones. Written testimony will also be accepted for transmittal to the board. Send this testimony to the Office of Board Governance, P.O. Box 2181, Milwaukee, Wisconsin 53201, 2181. Or email it to governance@milwaukee.k12.wi.us. Just as a reminder, Robert Rules of Order dictates that all comments, questions, or requests should be directed to the chair, who will determine the most efficient way to address them. Also, no one other than members of the board, designated staff, and those who have been invited to present or participate in items of business will be allowed on stage before, during, or after meetings of the board and its committees.
Thank you, Nyla, for being tonight's reader, and a special thank you to Laura Vanderbilt, the library support paraprofessional at Story, for encouraging her students to read for our meetings. If you have a child that would like to read for the board meeting, send a message to governance@milwaukee.k12.wi.us. Now let's begin. Madam Secretary, item 1.
Madam Chair, item 1 is work session on policy review, consideration of and possible action on Section 2000 programs and instruction. The recommendation is that the board determines how it wishes to proceed.
Would the Office of Board Governance please present the item?
This evening, good evening, Chair Zomber, members of the board. This evening we are reviewing the 2000s from our Neola policy review. And so we will just go ahead with any items that the board wishes to set aside.
Okay, thank you. So we will begin our work session. Do any committee members wish to set aside any of the policies for separate consideration? Director Vanoy.
I'd like to set aside 2105 and 2110 and hold for committee.
Okay, So the request is to actually set aside and hold in committee 2105 and 2110 instead of discussing them tonight.
Correct.
Okay. Do other committee members wish to make comments or set policies aside? Director Herndon?
Madam Chair, I'd like to set aside 2409.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
Nope. That one's not noted tonight.
Oh, we, you might have had an earlier packet, that policy didn't end up getting published. That one's set aside. So we will be bringing that one back at a future LRP meeting. So, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't notified.
Sorry. And then I would like to set aside and actually hold in committee, not discussed tonight, 2461 and 2416. Okay. Do any other committee members wish to set aside policies for separate consideration? Okay, so I'm just going to read back that we are setting aside, actually we're holding in committee 2105, 2110, 2409, 2461, and 2416. Oh, no, sorry, go ahead.
Nope.
Okay, was that
You
right?
got it.
Okay.
You got it.
Madam Chair, we would need a motion. You can do that as one motion, that all items set aside be held in committee.
Okay, I'll just move that all items set aside will be held in committee. Okay.
All right, on Director Zombra's motion that all items set aside be held in committee, Director Herndon,
Aye.
Director Jackson,
Aye.
Director Benoit,
Aye.
and Chair Zomber.
Aye.
That's 4 ayes, the motion passes.
Okay. And then what is the pleasure of the committee with respect to the remainder of the items? Director Benoit?
I move to approve. Balance.
Madam Secretary, may I call the roll?
On Director Benoit's motion to approve the balance of the policies in Section 2000, Director Herndon. Director Jackson, Director Benoit,
Aye.
and Chair Zomber.
Aye.
That's 4 ayes, the motion passes.
Okay. Thank you. Madam Chair, next item, please.
That was the last item on this evening's agenda.
Okay. There being no further business before the committee, this meeting is adjourned in record time.